What's up, YouTube? It's the Hood Trucker Show, and I am the Hood Trucker. Let me fix this mic. I hate the way this mic sounds, by the way, and I'm working on something else, but that's what I got for right now. Today is Sunday, and we're gonna wrap the week up like this here. We showed. We're not gonna mention that dude name no more. I'm tired of it, really. It's boring now. Nobody's gonna listen anyway. uh, we're gonna wrap the week up like this though. We talked about him and we talked about his character and the child support issues, all of that. And he said, "What does that have to do with trading coding?" And I thought about it. What does it have to do with trades and coding? As far as the concept of trades and coding, it has nothing to do, but it has to go. It goes to show like the character of the person that you're trying to put in charge of implementing trades and codings in school, which we've shown a lot of stuff. I'm not going to go over it. We've already gone over it. So let's look at the concept of putting trades and codes in schools. What is the plan? Has there been any plan that's mentioned? Is there any type of strategy to get it back in I'm assuming that he's talking, we says in schools. I'm gonna assume that he's talking about, possibly junior high schools and possibly junior high schools and high schools. I don't think he's talking about elementary school, so yeah. So junior highs and high school, maybe junior highs, but definitely high school. What is the plan? Um, and if there is a plan, who is he talking to help him implement the plan? What I mean is, uh, if trades and coding is not in a particular school, and you want to put it in a school, you have to go and change the curriculum to include trades and coding. Uh, you need politicians for that or public officials. Is there anybody behind putting trades and coding in high school or junior high? I haven't heard anybody say anything about it. Not a politician. Are there any mayors behind it? Are there any people that directly affect the curriculum? I mean, of course, the state uh, tells you what you can and cannot teach, but which would be a politician. But you also have people like the school board, the superintendent of schools. I don't know if principals can really do anything about it, but has anybody heard of anybody other than, we're gonna call him drunk driver, talk about a plan to implement, putting it in schools, like because again, you can't just show up on somebody's school doorstep and say, hey, we want these trades and coding in school. And you know what? I'm going to tell you who's going to be one of the first uh, organizations that's going to be against putting trades at least in schools, and that's going to be the trade unions. Uh, if you, for example, like how Amazon, what, I don't know if Amazon is, but let's say let's say you build a post office or some type of government building, a prison, or anything like that. Who do you think is working on those jobs? Union workers that are from the trade unions, right? So let's say that you are able to, from some miraculous reason, to put trades at least in schools, so where they're teaching trades. Do you know who's? Do you know that when they're done with learning that trade, if they can even teach a trade to the extent that you can get a job, do you know what they're going to be? They're going to be what's called a scab worker, because uh, if you're not in the union, you can't get on a union job. I don't know. I don't know if like the Amazon centers and all of that. I don't know. Like, are they building those? I don't know if those are union or not. I mean, I would think that you would want to have union guys on a major, a major bill like that because I mean, union guys. I was in the union, and that's all we worked on was really big commercial um, projects. So I don't know that you would want someone who's non-union on that type of a job. I mean, I don't know, but it so they're going to be so once they leave high school, they're going to be what's called a scab worker, which means that I mean, you're not going to get on very many big jobs like that. I mean, I'm sure there's a few, but when a union job like even regulated different, like you got these union people out there checking and make sure people's wearing hard hats and all these safety stuff going on. OSHA's out there, all kinds of stuff going on. Now I don't know, I've never been on a non-union job, so I don't know exactly. I know it's different though, and I know that they don't pay as much either. So and sometimes it's as much as $10 an hour or less. So you remember, if you work 8 hours, that's $80 less per day. you know I think I think they pay like 20 something, maybe 24, 3, 4, 5, something like that in a non-union job. And then, prevailing wage jobs are like 35, 36, $37 an hour, for a journeyman. So, and again, guess who's going to be against that? The labor, I mean, the labor union, like you even have labor as a trade. Like you have people like you ever see that, like you go on the streets or whatever sometimes and you see the guy that's holding the sign, the stop sign, he's getting a prevailing wage a lot of times. If it's a union thing, like I don't know, this Caltrans or I don't know the particulars. I wasn't a union guy, but I mean a labor union guy, but because there's a labor union, there's a cement masons union, there's electricians union, there's all kinds of different unions, and they are going to be the first ones against it because you know uh, uh, people that learn trades in school, in high school, will be their direct competition. So of course they're going to be against it. But again, who's for it? Have we heard anything about anybody who's for it other than drunk driver dude? I don't recall. And then, I mean, because think about it. If Barack Obama said we need to put trades back in schools, it'd be a push. Like there'd be people talking about it. They'd be like, all over the place. People, bringing it up in like political speeches or whatever. I haven't heard not a peep. So I mean, okay, you would think that a number one pick in the draft, a veteran NBA player, I'm pretty sure he's well known in the NBA, right? You would think that he would bring a lot of shine to that issue. I haven't heard a peep out of anybody that would make a difference. So that being said, you know, if you don't have any prominent people talking about it, you don't have any local people, meaning school boards, school superintendents, principals. You don't have them talking about it. Who's talking about it, and how are you going to put it in? Who are you talking to start talking about it to? Like, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, is it just a concept and like, hey, we need to throw it in? And by the way, super chat is right down there. I'm not asking. I'm not asking. But super chat is right there. I don't know, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what? I don't know. I don't get it. Uh, you know, again, he's talking about. He talks about me. Shut your damn mouth, blah, 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 all this stuff, and got all these different expletive, towards me. And that sounds good and it looks good and makes you look tough and all of that. But Um, what what does that say? Okay. Uh, Anybody that's done anything that had anything to do with any type of legal issue knows this, that when you can't argue the facts, you argue the process. For example, when I fought my case, a lot of it was procedural, and that's how I got it re- severely reduced to something that I could work with. And a lot of the things that happened behind the scenes were because they know the game, I didn't know the game, right? And that's all procedural, right? When you which goes to why, instead of arguing uh our differences on a fact by fact basis, um they argue shut the hell up. You not even black. All you from California, you this, you that. All you do is clout chasing. You're standing on somebody's shoulders, and all of that has nothing to do with what I said. So that tells me that on the facts, this is something I've been having that on my head the whole time. What that tells me is that you can't argue the facts. So the facts are on my side. Say that's a ridiculous idea because you're not arguing. You just want me to shut up. You don't want me to say that it's a ridiculous idea. Your character is horrible. It would appear that people are getting taken advantage of when you say like, we got 6,000 shoes, and then you say out your mouth it was only 382 or 384, and don't quote you to it, but it was something to that one of those low numbers like that. And then he was clowning me for counting boxes when you said six. Why would you say 6,000? You could have said nothing and it would have been fine. So that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of times he puts his own foot in his mouth and he does goofy stuff like you know allegedly drunk driving. I mean, it's not funny, but I mean, just over and over and over and over does things that you would expect someone who's used to being a leader that wouldn't do. Like, listen, there's certain things that there's certain times when you should just not say nothing. It's better to say nothing than to say something. Um, but when it comes to this concept of coding and trades, nobody is saying nothing other than him. So you get what I'm saying? Like people that are in the know and people that do this on a daily basis, they're not saying anything. They're not against it and they're not for it because you know what I'm saying? That's one of those unknowns. Like for example, uh, let's say for example, God forbid, that something bad comes out about Kwame Brown's past or his legal issues or whatever the case, right? And let's say a politician was for whatever he's talking about. Now that puts him in the same category. So, like for example, Brother Polite, he has these allegations and stuff. People starting to let me back away from this dude, right? So that's like now, if here's the thing, like famous people, a lot of times there's rumblings going on, right? That people know what's going on, like with the Epstein stuff and the what was that other white dude? I forget who the Oprah and them was defending, and I think he was a contributor or something. Anyway, to some he was a contributor to certain people's political campaigns and stuff. There was rumblings. Uh, Epstein and then the other guy, I can't remember his name. The one that was he had something to do with the film industry or something. I can't think of his name. But Oprah and them was buddies with him or something. I don't know. But you know what I'm saying? So those two people, there was rumblings that those things were going on behind the scenes, and nobody said nothing. Why? Because you're not gonna step on his toes because it might affect you financially if you say something. Another reason is People don't like to go against the grain. Like for me, for example, I'm going against all kinds of grain right now. I got people popping up out of the woodwork talking shit about me, right? Just because I'm a voice that's not, we're gonna use this term, not go along, get along. Go ahead and do, because listen, you got people that's out here and saying stuff about me, and they're sucking Kwame's ass at the same time. So you get praise from the Kwame zombies over there, and then you get further praise from, you get praise from being on Kwame's side, and then you get further praise for being against me. So there's no downside to that. So if you were to attack me because I'm attacking that particular person, then that's a win-win for you. There's no way you can go wrong. On the other hand, on the other hand, if I have an opposing view, I'm getting I'm getting it from all over the place. So, you know, some people don't want to do that. Some people don't want to be known. Some people don't want their, because listen, when especially in this type of a case, you can't argue the facts. You know what I'm saying? The fact is that there's nobody talking up anywhere at any point about trades and coding. Now, let's look at another part of this. He says that, you know kids are in 8th grade are reading at a 4th grade level, and that I don't know. I kind of, I don't know how that translates into trades and codes, because I mean, I would think that if you're an 8th grader that reads at a 4th grade level, then your comprehension is at a 4th grade. And if your concept is we need to teach those people trades and coding, then you might as well say that, okay, then 4th grade is the threshold to which we need to teach trades and coding. And if a 4th grader is reading at a 4th grade level, then we should go ahead and just teach them coding too, and trades and all of that. Is that what you're saying? I don't know, because it's all. I mean, the reason I'm asking these questions is I haven't heard the plan. What is the plan for not only putting trades and coding in school, but if you going quote the statistic that 8th graders are reading at 4th grade levels, are you going to do anything about that? Is there a solution or a plan to deal with that, or is that just something to say? Or are you saying that we should push trades and coding on the people that read at below reading level? I don't know. I don't even know what the intention of that statistic. And it's also a phantom statistic, because I'm yet to hear a specific study that in any school district that he's quoted specifically, that noted that our 8th graders are reading at a 4th grade level, and the best thing for them is maybe trades and coding. I would think that you would want to get the reading scores up before you put coding on them or trades. I mean, because if you're gonna learn coding specifically, and trades too, there has to be a certain level of comprehension. If you don't know how to read, or if you read at a low level, that means your comprehension is low too. So how can you learn any of that stuff? I don't know. I don't know. And these are questions that I would love to see answered, because here's the thing. I mean, if you could answer these questions, I mean, I'd be on board. I mean, because first of all, I don't listen. I don't believe that. I mean, if by some miraculous, miraculous reason, or system or whatever, you could put in place to get trades and codes in schools, then I'd be on board. because because first of all, you'd have to have some type of study where it shows that that would be good for kids, and it would help and all of that stuff, right? Which I don't think you're going to be able to do, because again, they've tried it already and they've written an article about it. It's called the troubled history of vocational education. It's already been done, dude. Like you're just like me continuing to talk about you, trying to say that trades in schools and coding and all of that in schools as a concept is beating a dead horse, because nobody's behind it. Maybe coding. I think there's some coding, but I doubt very seriously trades. Like coding, I could see. But here's the thing: if there was a shortage of coders, right? Just like big trucking companies, they have schools to teach drivers how to drive, and the arrangement is, if we help you get your license and teach you how to drive, you just have to work here for a certain amount of time. And again, if there was a shortage of coders, then I think that big time companies would have some type of a program to where they can have a constant supply of workers if that was the case. I don't think that's the case though. And I don't think that if you teach coding in school, I think you'll have like a background in coding or something like that. You might be able to. I don't even know like what coders do, but I doubt very seriously you're gonna be able to compete in the job world, with a high school coding education when you are talking about people who need to do this for a living and are up on the latest everything. And people that are learning this, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. So again, what the question is, what is the plan? Okay, it sounds good. It gets people riled up, rah, 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 just like the Donald Trump rallies and all of that. But what's the plan? What's the plan to implement it? I don't know. Because again, it's kind of already been done already. Now, again, the coding, but are you gonna really be able to get a job from a coding class in high school? I don't know. I don't know anything about coding, but I know they tried trades at least. And you're gonna have a lot of opposition from the unions and all that. And I don't know. So that's the question. Where's the plan? So with that, enjoy the rest of your day. Hit like, subscribe. Check out the links in the description, and we're gonna talk to you real soon. Take care.